The channel. Good to have you all back. Good to be back. That stuff. I already went and combined everything because fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and go out there and remote bomb. Burner fuel, huh? And then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna save. So all this is already done, so I don't gotta do it each time. Because I have a feeling this is not anywhere close to being over. There's only one more save station after this. And after that save station, there's only one possible spot to die. I didn't think this part was going to be this hard, to be honest. I thought it would be pretty simple and easy, but it's showing to be kicking my ass. I just keep missing shots. I used to never miss these shots. God, am I just that damn rusty? Okay. One step at a time. One thing at a time. Let's just fight them all. Oh. That would be useful if I had damn Magnum, but I don't. There we go. There we go, man. What is that? I don't fucking want that. Sure. And I guess I'll go back for that gunpowder now. Ooh. Gotta drop something. Got a chick behind you in this. Fucking Christ, my aim is just off. No idea what's going on. I think I'm just like tense and really nervous if I had to guess. I wasn't ready for this. Oh my god. Fucking yay. Trying to save my machine gun ammo forever. You are fucking pushing it, man. Okay. Here's the part I worry about. Wow, that hit me. Oh my god. This is not great. Got one of them. Come on, come on, come on! Come on, hit the shot, man. Oh my god. Second least favorite part in this game is this section right here. Two of those things, cramped space. I gotta use my fucking magnum for that part. Fuck me. Okay. You know what's super funny about this part? They don't give you a map to your left. To give you a map when you're done. I'm not picking that up. I'm just gonna go. That's a checkpoint. I think it's a checkpoint considering the symbol that came up in the top left. Oh boy, but I'm a savior anyway. Oh, that fucking scared me.
It's not here. It's gone. It's gone!
I think we go this way. can kind of see his face here. I think that's like the only chance that I can actually see its face. Hey. That's cool. Big ass light.
This is your fault.
I
Why am I
mean,
seeing this?
technically, yes.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Kill him, Mommy.
But you shouldn't have done that!
If it's a fake thing.
Fucking hurt!
Does it want to be my daddy? Then he can die. Now it's Mommy's turn to kill you.
I'm unaware if these things can actually hurt you.
You're gonna be one of us. And then maybe you'll play nicely.
I'm not playing.
No! Get that away from me!
About me! Leave me!
Yeah, I don't think they can actually hurt us. You're ready for effort at least.
Stay away!
Yeah.
Away from me! Stop! 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 No!
Gotcha, bitch!
No! No! No!
You.
She had accelerated aging.
Everyone hates me.
It's a pretty sad life, what they did to this girl. Ow. Okay, that's pretty much it. We got it. It's kind of impossible to fail the game at this point. Meow. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's really mean. Ugh.
I just wanted a family.
I don't think you can actually die here unless you don't shoot.
Play time, Joel.
What's great is they call this the Albert 01. Or the Albert 00. I think it's because it looks like Albert with Samurai Edge. I think Chris took his Samurai Edge from after in Chris and Sheva's thing. He took a Samurai Edge and just probably reconverted it to this. But who knows? Yeah. Beat Madhouse. Who is your daddy now achievement? Where's finally. Oh, I guess I got the good achievement for completing it on normal too. That's cool. What up, Chris? You lost some weight.
I'm Redfield. Glad we found you. The fuck took you guys so long?
I know, right? I can't wait to see how many times this game kicked my fucking ass.
Ethan?
Mia. You made it. I'm glad.
Yeah. I wonder what happened if he was like dating someone or was remarried at this point.
Well, a door closed tonight. And what a long night it was. But not just for me.
I keep forgetting about that.
Victims here. So were the Bakers. It was that thing, Evelyn, who made them that way. But now Evelyn's dead. And these guys are here to clean up the mess. I had just come to terms with losing Mia. But now she's back and wants to start over. Put all this behind us. Maybe this is where the next door opens.
Probably, yeah. But you should really ask yourself. You should really ask her some questions. At this point, like, for real. Yeah. We beat Biohazard. I don't want to watch the cutscene. The credits. Yeah, skip this movie. Yeah, I'm good. So, I died 10 times. I missed 3 Mr. Everywheres, got all the antique coins, missed a lot of the files, I didn't really read any. I opened that item box 63 times. I used 46 healing items, got 2 stabilizers, 4 steroids, took about 5 hours. Now, time for the review portion. To me, Resident Evil 7 is one of the masterclass of the Resident Evil series, especially since it brought in the first-person aspect. It really changed the game. It really kind of like changed it somewhat enough to be unique compared to the other Resident Evil games, but not so crazy of an idea. It's the first in the first-person trilogy, because apparently 9's going to be in first person and 8 is. Compared to the action trilogy of 4, 5, and 6, it's the over-the-shoulder camera. And the original trilogy, that's the the fixed camera, 1, 2, and 3. Now, 7 is by far one of the master class. I think it's up there with Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. In terms of how great it is, even Resident Evil 4. I will recognize Resident Evil 4 as probably one of the best Resident Evils, but it's not one of my favorites. And it's probably never going to be. It's kind of middle of the pack for me, because there's just some things about the game I don't like. And that's fine. It's my own personal preference. Now, I'm gonna do a rank. After I finish review, I'm gonna do this ranking. Oops. Ranked. Now, Resident Evil 7 is very good. There's not very many parts of it that are bad. The only section that I say was even remotely bad is the tanker section, which includes the flashback tanker. I just think that entire part is bad. Everyone, it's so bad that I think it's universally hated. I think it's good from the standpoint to understand where Mia came from. I think story-wise, with the way they're writing their story was a good section. But from a playing aspect, I really hate it. It's just not good to me. Now, everything else is great. The boss fights are great. Let me think. The boss fights are great. The gameplay is great. They give you good weapons. They're in normal mode. They're wonderfully timed. In Madhouse, they tend to give you some of the more stronger weapons first, just so you have them. Like getting the grenade launcher that early is insane. Because typically, and there's the broken handgun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6's, 4 campaigns, and then that, and then Resident Evil 0. Okay, sorry, I was making a list so I could. Me making my list of this more kind of compound. Sorry. Yeah, boss fight's great. The weapon placement's pretty great. The big thing is, I think that Jack fight would have been harder and that would have taken me forever if I didn't have that grenade launcher, get good shots, and I didn't pay attention. Not pay attention. If I wouldn't have known that was coming and wouldn't have been solely preparing for it, I'd have been fucked. Because that is the only boss fight I am ever worried about, just because it's so hard. Because it's not you just doing damage to them, you have to destroy all the eyes. And the two I'm always worried about is the ones that are under. There's 2 of them. I think the bosses are perfectly balanced. Like, for the first boss fight, the main thing is just trying to get into the car. And in Madhouse, you have to lockpick your way in instead of the key just being there. And the game fucks with you, thinking that it's going to be the same, and then it's just different. You aren't going to be ready. The second boss fight against Jack. In my first Madhouse playthrough, I didn't even pick up the chainsaw. I just use my the circular saw because I think honestly it does more damage than that does. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. So then I picked up the chainsaw on this one just because I didn't want to run the risk of dying, because I think I'd already died once to him. Now, giving that chainsaw early on is because using all of your handgun ammo and you should have the normal shotgun by then, I would think. No? Yes, you would. Because you could go up and go grab it. And using what little shotgun ammo you have, because you'll have the 4-round pump action one, is too much. So they said, hey, get them down to this much health, and then you can pick up this chainsaw and save ammo. It was great. I enjoyed it. and it's just perfectly balanced. Then the next fight after that, the chase sequence. I'm gonna talk about the chase sequences real quick. On easy and normal, they're kind of fair, if not kind of, you can cheese the shit out of them. And Madhouse, as you saw as I died to him 3 times, was painful because he's faster than you. Now, typically, the way that it's balanced is that you're faster than him. Capcom's like, Madhouse mode, fuck your balance. We're gonna do what we want. He's faster than you now. He can sprint. And you just don't know how terrifying it is to hear that him right behind me in the surround sound headphones. Because it sounds like he's right upon you. Yeah. All in all, Resident Evil 7 is super far up there, and I enjoy it. So now I'm gonna do this, do the top, my list in order. Now, there's 1 to 11, because I'm counting Resident Evil 6 as 4 different spots for each campaign, because they're different experiences. So at the bottom is going to be Resident Evil 0. Just because of all the backtracking, having to manage 2 characters' health at the same time, and needing a healing item. A red and green herb would not heal you both max-wise. It'll only heal one of you. That was just awful. I think if either they could have it to where it healed you both, or if you just both shared a single health, but it was double the health that you would standardly have. So that's our number 11 spot is Resident Evil 0. In our number 10 spot, I'm going to put Ada's campaign from RE6. Now, Ada has the annoyance of she does not start out with any good weapons. She starts out with a crossbow and the Mac Box 50. Or Pistol Box 50, Machine Box 50, I don't know. A 50 round Uzi. It's not a good weapon. I don't like it in the slightest. I'm gonna get off this screen just to kind of separate it. So we'll just do that. I think it's called Matchbox 50. It's just not a good weapon. And the first chapter is fucking terrible. It's just awful. I think it's by far the worst chapter in the entire game. By like a huge long shot. The shit's just insane. Oh, and in this list, I'm doing the remaster of 1 and the remakes of 2 and 3, because that is what I played. I'm not counting the original 3, because that would not be fair to them in my mind, because I would probably rank them low due to difficulty, because I'm not great. As you saw in Resident Evil 0, and then I had to put 1 on fucking easy just to fucking survive. After Ada's campaign, it's going to be Leon's campaign, because like, yeah, you have the old like classic zombies, but again, the first chapter is just a fucking slog. It's terrible, it's awful. And these being lower is also confounded by the facts that those regenerative enemies exist and all that. So they're held really far back. And Jake and them is going to be held back by like the same thing. So they're not going to be as high as they should. Now, after that, it starts getting difficult because it's to all the stuff I actually enjoyed enough. So I think next I'm going to put Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1 is not bad. It's not bad, it's good, I enjoyed it. But I understand that if I would have played it on normal, I would have had a bad time due to the difficulty. And that's okay. I understand it, it's one of the older games, it's going to be hard. And it's like that. And that's okay. Now, it's the original, it's the Pioneer. I hate ranking it at 8, but I just like the other games more. They're more fun to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like the newer games more because that's just my personal preference. I love them all. I'll play them all. No, I think that's him. I'll be right back. He's good. Back to what I was saying is, I love all the Resident Evils, but up against each other is what this list is mainly about. And one's just where it's at because I don't like it as much compared to the other ones. Next is going to be Resident Evil 6's Chris's campaign. I'm at to talk about I'll have to probably talk about this at the same time as Jake's. But in between Jake's and Chris's is the RE3 remake. Now, so let me just talk about Chris real quick at 7. No, when I talk about Jake's, I'll tell them why I put Jake's over it. So Chris's campaign, I enjoy a lot. It's the reason it does so much better than Leon's and Ada's, and what puts it above Resident Evil 1 is Piers. I love the character of Piers a lot. I love him so much. I wish he would have taken over for Chris. Like, I don't wish, like, in 7, I wish that wasn't Chris and the Umbrella Corps, motherfuckers. I wish that was Piers Nivens with the BSAA. I think that would have been so much better. But then 8 couldn't have the story it does with Chris Redfield and stuff like that. So the story would be different, but I wish Piers would have been around. Because I loved Piers, I wish he didn't have to die. Now, the only bad chapter for Chris was 1. And it's not the whole chapter. It's only the specific section in the tenant building where you're just trying to, when you're trying to get those people that are caught. And it's just that section. And that's it. The rest of it's fine. So that's why it does so much better than Leon and Ada's and puts it above Resident Evil 1. But it's not good enough to me to beat Resident Evil 3 Remake. Now, for 3 Remake, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people say it was probably rushed, and that's fine. Do I think it's perfect as a game? No. No, I don't. But I think it's still enjoyable. Has decent... It has replayability to the point of to where you're just playing the campaign over and over again. And that's fine. To unlock all the items. If you're smart and save up for the infinite rocket launcher first, it's going to make the rest of getting the rest of the achievements really easy. And that's fine. it allows you to choose how you spend your points and how hard it's going to be to complete certain tasks. Now, the big thing for 3 Make that killed me was the fact that Jill wasn't in the RPD, and some of the stuff that was destroyed in 2 but wasn't destroyed in 3 was not explained. So that's the part that upset me the most, is that Jill wasn't in the RPD. And, like, you didn't have a nemesis chasing the RPD. And in the hospital section, I didn't enjoy either. Now, one of people's chief complaints is, like I said, probably in my reviews, the lack of the Gravedigger boss in the graveyard and the clock tower. I didn't like the Gravedigger boss. The clock tower was okay. I don't know why people are complaining about it so heavily, honestly. In the remake, they tried to make it more believable as, like, a city. Like how a city would normally operate. And I don't think the clock tower stuff probably would have been making a lot of sense. Honestly, there were a lot of fucking puzzles in Resident Evil. 2 writes it off for the RPD as it was an old museum. That's fine. It explained it. But there's no reason all of Raccoon City should be that way. My only other complaint about 3 is a common one. The fact that there weren't really any nemesis chase sequences. I mean, like, there was the typical ones, but it was just you running from where you're at to where you need to go. In the sense of, you've already done everything, you've already explored everything. Unless in me, you forgot to go back and do stuff before continuing. But yeah, just the chase sequences, like, just not having Nemesis be a Mr. X type pseudo thing who followed you around everywhere would have probably been super enjoyable. Now, there's the thing of that would have been super unbalanced and all that hoopla. But I think the way you balance that is by not having. Hold on. Is by not having Nemesis jump ahead of you and be there. I think that's the big detriment to that. Now, in regards with that, the dodge mechanic, if you know how to use it, is perfect. You're gonna just demolish the game. But I am bad at it. I have bad timing. And you'll see that whenever we continue Demon Souls fucking 2 years from now. And that's pretty much all I got to say about 3. And right above 3 is RE6's Jake's campaign. So, toy. So, Jake's campaign also only has one weakness in a chapter, and that's recovering the data files in chapter 2. Everything else is perfect. And minus the fucking regenerative enemies. But everybody has that, so it's kind of hard to knock them against each other. But even with those bad sections, I think those 2 bad sections don't put it below Resident Evil 3. I love Jake's campaign. It's just because I love Jake's character. I like seeing Sherry again. Seeing Sherry again was nice. It really was. And I don't think I'm ever gonna hate the fact that Sherry was there. I think she was a nice addition. Really grounded Jake's fucking wild child aspects. And just like Jake's pseudo shit was really nice. just the caves part I really enjoy from chapter 2. I always love the Adonia chapters. Even it ends weakly, but it's not like terrible. I love their China section. The only bad part is the vehicle part on the motorcycle, and it's not even that bad. Honestly, it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as I remembered it being. And that's pretty much it. Even their chapter 4, what was their chapter 4? I think it was the second part in China. And then they had the underground facility. Jesus Christ, cat. But it was just all really good. Now, in the number 4 spot, we have Resident Evil 4. Controversial that it's this low, but as good as Resident Evil 4 is, it just has some glaring things that I don't like. The fact that every single game has a certain control scheme, except for that one where the 2 buttons are switched. And that is the clicking the center button on the PlayStation to open the map, and triangle opens the inventory. It's switch for forward, clicking the thing opens your inventory, and triangle opens the map. It fucked me up a lot during that playthrough. Now, one of my chief complaints about 4 is it's just like the last few sections of the game are weak. All of chapter 5 is terrible. The second you leave for that island, the game is bad. Chapter 5 on is just terrible. I don't like it. The first few chapters all in the villages are nice. When you're walking around and you're outside. The castle to me is weak. I don't like the castle section a whole lot. And I just don't like it. That's just my personal prerogative. Like everyone's chief complaint, taking care of Ashley, honestly isn't that bad to me. Yes, it's an escort mission, and most video game escort missions are terrible. But I just don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is. So, I just don't think it's as bad as everyone thinks it is. And Ashley is honestly not that bad. You just tell her to hide in the dumpster and she's pretty okay. Now, in the number 3 spot is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Resident Evil 2 Remake is the gold standard for how to make a remake. Bar none. It took the original game and improved upon it in every single aspect. There is not a section of Resident Evil 2 I really don't like. My chief complaints are zombies coming back. Like, you think they're dead and they come back. That's kind of annoying. But it's not a bad difficulty, it's annoying difficulty. There's ways to get around it if you know what you're doing. For Leon, what I did was use the shotgun to blow their heads off. I wasn't able to do it as much in the B playthrough as much as I was through his A playthrough, because you don't get a lot of shotgun ammo in the B playthrough. The other thing I don't like is that if you don't have one of those specific items on you, that you just ate that damage, and there's nothing you could do about it. You know, it just speaks to, hey, just don't fucking waste those things, just choose the right time, yada yada yada. And I'd be okay with that. I'm glad that the flash grenades and the actual grenades stack to 3. But the knives do not stack I wish the knives stacked. That would have been nice. Resident Evil 2 is a great game. Gold standard for remakes. Now, if there's no parts that I don't like in this, what the hell could my 2 above it be? And number 2 is Resident Evil 7. Now, I know what you're about to say. Earlier in the Resident Evil 7 review, I just complained about a whole section of the game where 2 doesn't have anything I really complain about. And you're right. However, my chief complaint about the game is only the boat section, and it's bad. But what keeps it from putting it below Resident Evil 2 is the fact that story-wise, the boat is super important. And it kind of just like tells, hey, this is what fucking Mia did when she went missing. And it just has that little bit of story that's really nice to have. Oh, how about I accidentally start something? Oopsies. Okay, no. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at this. It's so important to the story, and learning that what she was doing and all this other stuff is nice. There were some parts that were kind of like, what? But in the end, it's not bad. But it is the Resident Evil that I played probably the most at a single time besides one other game. Because for Resident Evil 7, I played it and beat it on easy. I went through, for my first playthrough, I went through and played it on normal, went and sped run it on easy to get the items for Madhouse, and then I played it on Madhouse. I did 4 playthroughs in a row, and I was having the time of my life. And then I did another playthrough on normal to use the Infinite Magnum, just to enjoy myself. And then I played a bunch of the extra content. I played both DLCs, Not a Hero and End of Zoe once. Not a Hero was not stellar. The End of Zoe was actually super cool. And then I played a bunch of the Ethan Must Die mode trying to beat it. But I never beat it. It was something that I just couldn't do. And I played the Daughter's Band footage and the one that was at the top, Nightmare, because that's basically Mercenaries. I don't care what anyone says. That's Mercenaries. Now, I guess you've already figured out what the number 1 game is. It's Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5 is my favorite Resident Evil game. And going through it with this playthrough, just proved to me that it was my favorite. It does have its weak points, parts that I don't like. But I don't like them because they're difficult to handle by myself, alone. The game is not meant to be played alone, it's meant to be played with someone else. Now, I plan to do a live stream on YouTube with that dude who I was supposed to play it with originally. I plan on playing it through with him as a live stream eventually. It may be a few years till I do that, but it's a plan. We're going to play Resident Evil 5 and we're going to play Resident Evil 6. And we're going to live stream it. Well, both of us. He's going to do it on Twitch. I'm going to do it on YouTube. I'm not going to use any of the infinite ammo weapons. None of that. And I'm probably going to enjoy the ever-living shit out of it. Because I remember playing it with one of my buddies back on PS3 when I first had it. And just loving it. Like, we played it so much. Trying to just, like, get money to get infinite ammo weapons. Going through it and enjoying the story. So much that we got my time under 5 hours to unlock the infinite ammo RPG. And after that, we went back through it, using that RPG against every boss to get him his infinite rocket launcher. And then we got the rest of it. I must have played that game so many times in a row, and it's a long game. And I love it. I love the relationship and the bond that Chris and Sheva just fucking develop over that course of that period of time. I really like it. I like the gameplay. I think its tank controls are fine. It works well. The tank controls are never a chief complaint for me for the over-the-shoulder games. They're a chief complaint for me for the fixed camera games because I can't shoot at their head unless they're like right on top of me, which I never want them to be. Now, Resident Evil 5 is great. The Mercenaries mode is fun. There's just so much to do. Because there's so many Mercenaries characters that you and a buddy can team up and just have a great time. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's by far my favorite. There's not a section I overly hate to the point that I think it's deserving of being put lower on things. I love that the upgrade system. I've always loved weapon upgrade systems. Ever since they introduced it in RA4. The whole getting attachments and everything from Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake, that's fine. That's the way you want to do it. So you can time the upgrades if the person gets it and earns it. It's fine. It's fine. But I like the numbers game of Resident Evil 4 and 5. More so in 5, because I just like 5 more. Because you can plan, like, alright, there's like 2 or 3 of this type of weapon. What do I want to go for? Damage, reload speed, magazine size, or I think that's pretty much it. Damage, rate of fire, reload speed, or ammo in box. Ammo in each for reload, and you choose whatever you want. And if you fully upgrade some of the weapons, if they're fully upgraded, you unlock new weapons. Great weapons, except for Sheva's bow. We don't talk about that. And that weapon may be better than I'm giving credit, to be honest. I've never used it. I lie. I've used it. I just don't remember it. But I don't remember liking it. Yeah, so that's my list. And we'll talk about where 8 gets put on that list after I beat it. And I do plan on recording it for the channel. I plan on starting it tomorrow, the day it comes out, doing like the first few hours. I doubt I'm gonna beat it. If I do, I'd be fucking shook. I'll probably do it on normal, because that seems just fair. If I don't finish it tomorrow in the initial recording session, then most likely what's going to happen is that I'm gonna wait 2 weeks, just have fun in the Mercenaries mode, and then the next 2 weeks I have off, record the ending of Resident Evil 8. And after that, I'll go to more of the child-friendly stuff. Like Lego Harry Potter, Sackboy, just kid-friendly stuff for my kids. So they have something to watch when I'm gone. For a few months at a time, a month at a time, a week at a time. And whatever. So their only options aren't, Resident Evil. Now, the Resident Evil is more for me to get everything done and have everything for Resident Evil 8. I was like, well, I have a PS5 now, why not record everything? Put it on YouTube and I can enjoy the experience later. Yeah, I'm gonna watch my own videos. I may cringe the entire time, but I'll do it. And that's mostly for when the kids are older and they want to try and dip into a little bit more horror, they can do that. And I'll probably start doing recording and posting Nintendo stuff. Whenever we move, we get a house, I get the ability to record stuff on the Switch. I'm gonna do like Pokemon Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3, probably do Mario Kart go through. Just whatever I find. Probably do Breath of the Wild. That's gonna be a long series if I do that. Probably a 45 plus parter. Just depending. I've been kind of dragging on, honestly. I apologize for that. And if you stuck around to the end of this rant, I appreciate it. If not, that's okay. You were here for the ending of Resident Evil 7. Alright, and with that, I thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Slap on the notification bell because you never know when I'm going to upload. Especially these days after I finish. After tomorrow, my upload schedule is going to be the most random it's ever been. In a long time. And I'll see you next time when we start Resident Evil 8.